Artemis is currently just frozen in place there. Cinder, you could see involuntary twitches in his body. You think he's not necessarily distressed, but he doesn't even have ties to his normal body at the moment anymore.
Hit him.
Suddenly feel a slap on the face.
Wake up.
And for a second, you feel like time reverts back to the detective by your side, looking up from his notes at you. Artie, time to wake up, sweetie.
Artemis would just be confused why he felt pain in a hallucination, but then he remembered that Arthur also felt pain in his hallucinations.
Cinder will tickle Artie.
Cinder is connecting the same electric wires she connected to John, to you, and you are hallucinating this as the last moments of your life. You think, oh shit, I am actually dying and I hallucinated all of the rest of my adventure. Shit, now it's turning into panic.
Am I able to assist with the object I told them to pick beforehand? I hope everyone did, otherwise I'm just like showing you a bunch of weird shit.
Doves just flying in every direction as this stick just arises like a goddess.
He fills with happiness remembering that he did invent the sneaky peeper.
As you hold it, there is one single opportunity of round where you again remember you have a chip in your head.
I think we should take a more lax approach towards it. Chaos is fun.
Artemis, you can see everything around you start to fade into the current pool atmosphere. The only thing different is just this giant, friendly, sneaky peeper above you, tickling you and wrestling with you, just going from side to side, giggling childishly and just basically playing with you.
Would Artemis be aware of Noel helping him do this?
Part of you, a small part of you, knows that partially you're being humored by slightly worried individuals, but you also feel good enough that you don't feel bad about, that being their intention.
Artemis will begin, hallucinating, fucking halos and shit around Noel and idolizing him in his mind. And, trying to reach out and touch his face.
Okay, even though this would be great for making your character like me no matter what, I have a workaround for making you know it's just me. Noel will prove that it is him by holding the bag of shit by his eye.
Artemis.
Nice.
You are forced into reality again. The sneaky peeper suddenly goes away, but you're stunned.
Yeah, he'll be like, ugh, and then turn it off. That couldn't have gone better, honestly.
As soon as he was like, can I tell us Noel? I was like, oh, you can tell us Noel, but you can...
Alright, yeah, Artemis's chip is off now.
Alright, the squad is getting back on their feet, and everyone's morale is going up now, unless anything else happens. Everyone is back in touch with reality, and there's this strange silence with just waves in the water and then this oozing out puke from Sachiko from the side of the pool that's being sucked into each of the vents for the same organs to try harder and filter it out again, along with the utilities in the facility.
After a bit, Artemis will, brush himself off and go check in the pool.
It just seems like there are bits and pieces of food from the MRE still in the undigested bits and pieces still stuck in the vent, being pushed through by the flow of water.
Ew, all the chunks.
Other than that, the water seems pretty clear already.
Has much vegetation or some growth of any kind started to appear around the pool room?
Actually, none.
2 of them that are not center just go around and do a careful search of the area. Center will be going over to Sachiko.
As soon as Cinder starts coming toward her, she gets conscious. She kicks a chair, but not into the pool. She keeps kicking it, and she screams, "I'm going to kill you, you fucking bastard."
Something drops into the water. You guys can see the waves of it. It almost just feels like something very small probably dropped into the water, or something tapped the water as Sachiko was screaming.
I will try to see what's in the water.
Absolutely nothing.
Can I use the black light on the water?
When you use the black light, for a second you think you see some oozing liquid perhaps, but then it just goes away again. Almost as if it was a hallucination. Fades away.
Look at Noel. Say, did you see that as well?
Noel did in fact see that as well. All of you can still see the waves going by.
Can I tell 100% if this is not a hallucination?
You can tell 100% the waves on the water are not a hallucination.
Can I look at the ceiling quickly?
Nothing on the ceiling either. Noteworthy.
She picks up the chair and begins slamming the chair on the wall, and she's now so angry that she's shouting not in English but in Japanese. She's shouting "Koroshimasu, Koroshimasu" over and over again until the chair is broken or something happens.
Sachiko? Cinder will put her hand on the shoulder.
Sachiko suddenly stops slamming the chair. She stops midway, and then she turns and she says, I want to kill that bastard. You don't know what he showed me. I want to kill him.
What happened, honey?
It's not something that I want to talk about, but do we have a grenade?
We have C4.
If we had a grenade, we could just blow up the first floor and be done with it.
We'll keep a lookout for a grenade, hun. What can I do to help you?
Promise me that we are going to kill that bastard.
I'll do everything within my power.
Artemis would just be hearing this and kind of go, who exactly is it that you want to kill? I mean, I'm all for it, but just wondering.
The Kevin Logan who has been putting all of these bullshit ideas into our minds. And you notice that she is trying to not look at you as she says this. And if you have a high insight, you would see that she wants to get angry at you, but at the same time, she knows she shouldn't get angry at you, and this makes her get angry at an unspecified target even more.
While all this is happening, I want to spit into the pool and see how that reacts with the ooze.
You spit into the pool. Nothing really happens. The waves are now settling as well.
Artemis tries just making louder and louder screaming noises. Oh, he would warn people first, obviously. But just to see if it works with his voice as well. He'll do a variety of screams, by the way. So like screams in terror, screams of joy, screams of pain.
If there's dice involved, this is either really good or really bad, so Noel joins in. So
Chico joins in as well, but more so because she needs an excuse to scream more.
Cinder's just gonna look at all of you. One's gonna watch the water, one's gonna watch the ceiling, and just one's gonna watch everything. I'm gonna put a watch point on every single person.
Cinder and Noel, there's a little bit of echoing going on there. There seems to be a little opening on the top side of the pool, close to the gym, but on this side of the wall, on this side of the pool wall.
Interesting.
Like, I'd never and for the life of me expected, this secret vent would be revealed through people screaming. But there you go, you've done it.
Artemis doesn't notice this, so he's still screaming.
I'm guessing I hear the echo and then silence as I try and focus it up.
That's what Cinder will do too, and then she'll kind of go towards it and she'll put her finger up.
By the way, I think we were like those pigeons in that famous experiment that they just randomly decided that one action of them caused the food to come out. And it was completely random that Suchiko was screaming at that moment.
As long as you're looking towards the right side from the boiler room and you're not like staring at the wall, you would see her point at something.
He'll still be screaming, but he'll look.
The closer you go while you're screaming, the more you feel like there's something off about the top side of the pool. And now you can begin your foraging.
Yes.
By the way, I don't imagine Artemis as really screaming, but as bellowing out this opera note.
Oh!
Yeah.
You reveal not so much an entryway or an exit way or even a vent, but something right underneath the sterile lock that already seemed unnecessary for just a pool area because it seemed to be stronger than a shitload of the different rooms in the basement. You see, what you believe was put there specifically to be concealed under the impression that it's just to keep the pool sterile. And it seems to be a set of wires that come from one room from above and then continue down into the ceiling and then down through the wall, still behind the barrier that is keeping things sterile, and then all the way down into the shelter. You think this could lead into the mainframe computer?
I shall inform Noli Boy.
Upon checking things, you'd know this would connect to the floors above, to the mainframe computer, and this perhaps was a specific weak point put into the building but guarded under a different excuse, so that people who know about the building could access the mainframe computer if they think it's hijacked through here, if they have a device capable of it.
So this is just secret tunnels.
Seems so.
Would Noel say any of this? I'm guessing not.
Well, sure. Noel's helpful.
Actually, Noel has been sneakily helpful all the time.
True.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just about to ask Noel if he would he know what device could be used?
I tell everyone, and I say these exact words, and no more information than what I tell them, is that we need Sachiko's extreme dildo to access.
All right, maybe not that. It still needs some digital processing power. You got me.
Even though these things are not related, Sachiko is too muddled in her brain to understand for now. So she tries to throw the chair at the pool ceiling and she screams, "Eat this, Kevin shit!"
It just lands between Noel and Artemis without even reaching the ceiling because you're too weak.
What is the chair made of?
It seems like this synthetic material that's supposed to resemble wood but is very light. That's why so easily it was mangled and broken. But the bits and pieces that fall off of it are not at all sharp. So it's pretty safe. Even if it had hit you on the head, you would have been surprised how unharmed you would be.
Well, I'm actually going to keep that. You say it's really lightweight.
Yeah, and there are, keep in mind, there are like 8 more of them in this area.
Yeah, that could be really useful.
Okay. Well, quick test. See how well it floats in the water.
That's what Noel's doing. Any action on Cinder's parts before we continue with everyone's actions?
Moving closer to Sachiko and just kind of say quietly, "Do you mind if I hug you?"
You can read in her eyes that she doesn't mind it.
Pulls her into a warm and deep hug.
Sachiko, would you be susceptible to a morale boost from this?
Yeah, sure. Yes, you feel like Sachiko going limp in your arms as if she's a dead fish.
Artemis, any actions on your side for this round before we continue?
Not really, just gonna be looking at Noel. I guess using forage around the whole room, just because he's like, that was a good idea.
You would understand that behind the staff room wall, there is a little empty place. You don't really have the strength or the power to go through it at the moment. But it could be that David's digging endeavors caused some emptiness behind the staff room wall under 7.
Okay.
So for you, Noel, yep, they're easily foldable. And when you throw it into the pool, it definitely floats.
I'm gonna round up all the chairs, fold them all up for storage purposes, and
8 chairs. I'll write this in your inventory, but I'll know you're not fucking carrying them around.
yeah. I'm not sure what I wanted these for, but they will have some purpose, I suppose, as some of us cannot swim.
Sachiko, when she's a bit calmed down by Cinder's hug, she goes toward Alice, hugs Alice, and buries her head into her into her fur and begins crying, and she continues that until her morale is to the normal level.
It seems like without necessarily knowing why or even understanding her own feelings, Alice seems to be crying as well. Little streams of tears coming from the misplaced tear glands.
During this time, could I work on my concept for the Wing Chun to make sure that I get decent rolls when I do come to actually making it. This would be the perfect material for the Wing Chun.
Yeah, you can predict things. And one thing before we continue to the other rounds, Cinder, the one Cinder that was going around inspecting all the rooms, finds out that the showers are all functional. The house seems to have a complete supply of all of them. There is an intercom in the showers. Out of all the intercoms, just by luck, that one seems to be working, and there's a bit of white noise and perhaps a breathing sound coming through it. This breathing sound is not in sync with the giant lungs that seem to be somewhere in the house that are pumping the air in. Those are different. So this one seems out of sync with those. This one doesn't seem to be those.
Oh, really?
And you also find out that the bar has some pretty good utilities for you to, if you're a drink enthusiast, to make different drinks or even bottle up things.
I'm gonna pack up all the bottling supplies.
Do my drug perk affect being drunk?
Yes.
Succ kisses Alice's face, whispers "I love you" to her, and then walks to Artemis and says, "Can't you think of a way to block electromagnetic waves? Think about it. And if you have any questions about different ways that it can function, you can ask me, and maybe I might be able to give you an answer, because this is the second time I've been facing a creature of this kind."
If we could get away with it, we could actually attack it.
So just insulation, an insulated hat, basically. I will keep an eye out for any materials and, have a roll to remember any of the materials that I've seen.
If you get the proper materials to get it done, like the tools, you already know where to get them.
Succ says, "There's just one thing that I ask of all of you. I want to be the one to kill it."
You seem to have a rather personal vendetta against this. Is there any particular reason why? I mean, I'm assuming your previous experiences must have been quite traumatic. I don't want to, intrude, but this one is entirely different so far.
When I had the collar on, this one showed you to me raping Alice, and I want to return the favor personally.
Oh, baby girl.
Well, I'm all for it. Let's go. Artemis shall check out all the other rooms using foraging.
Lots of the pods for the shower area can be closed down so that you can easily basically use it in whatever way you want as a relaxation chamber. And behind each of them, there are sensory deprivation tanks that one can use. And screens there for any type of media to be played there. And you think there's an entertainment system somewhere on in the house already. There's an intercom as well. And there are breathing sounds and a bit of white noise coming through it.
Can Artemis actually have a nice shower and get himself all clean and smelling nice, actually?
Actually, I should probably do that too with the shit on my face.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Can Succ go and see that intercom thingy?
Sure.
First, she listens intently and uses her biological knowledge to see if she can understand anything about the sort of the thing that is breathing.
Just from the pace at which it's breathing, you think, first of all, it's humanoid. Secondly, it's asleep or something along those lines. Thirdly, it belongs to a weak or brittle or small creature. 4, just with the sounds around, nothing from here is being taken to wherever this is being broadcast from.
If I use my medic on it, do I feel like there's anything wrong with its lungs?
Lungs that are not functioning on full capacity, but already is enough because the body is small enough.
Okay.
Cinder will take the other shower.
All right.
Can I be in that shower? Can I be in?
It'd be like fantasizing about all the cinders just bubbling in the shower together.
Wow.
So one by one, the cinders will be showering in the left shower, while Noel and Artemis shower together in the right one.
Sachiko wants to pretend that she's also showering, but then she wants to sneak away and go to the shelter.